There are so many wonderful role models we can learn from, and it is my honor and pleasure and thrill to bring them to you on this show, Awakening Aphrodite. And remember, these are all elements that are in all of us. You might just need to wake them up a little bit. In today's busy world, how can we find the inspiration, knowledge, and energy to live a healthy and empowered life? If we balance and harmonize our mind, exercise our body, live according to the laws of nature, and connect to spirit, can we find a way to heal, become our authentic self, and live our purpose with love? I am your hostess, Amy Fournier, and welcome back to Awakening Aphrodite. Did you know that apple cider vinegar is a very well-known medicinal food for centuries and centuries? In fact, your grandmother probably had you having a spoonful of it or two for the winter season when colds come on and viruses and people's immune systems are compromised. And for good reason. Apple cider vinegar does so many amazing medicinal things for your body. And of course, it's a real food source, which is what we want. Supplements are great, but you really want to try to get your nutrition and feed that machine of yours with real quality food. Very, very important. Apple cider vinegar actually supports normal blood sugar balance. It helps your weight management. It helps you have a healthy heart. It minimizes cravings, and it helps your immune system function better. In fact, apple cider vinegar also helps to combat and kill viruses and prevent pathogens, fungal infections, and even microtoxins from getting into your body. The great news is, one of my favorite companies, Paleo Valley, makes a wonderful apple cider vinegar complex that makes it convenient and easy to get all the nutrition, all the health benefits of apple cider vinegar. And they've added organic turmeric, which helps the inflammation response. They've added organic ginger, which helps your cardiovascular function, your immune system, your digestive health. And they've added organic cinnamon, which helps your blood sugar, and organic lemon, which helps your natural detoxification, your alkaline levels, and again, boost that immune system. So if you're looking for help to support healthy blood sugar, help minimize cravings, help increase nutrient absorption, and help increase your immune system function, please consider adding apple cider vinegar, organic of course, to your diet like I do. You can go ahead and find it on my website under the recommended products under the e-store. Just scroll down and find Paleo Valley. You'll see all their wonderful products there, which I use all the time. You can use my coupon code to save 10%, Amy Fournier 10. That's all caps, AMYFOURNIER 10. Enjoy. Welcome back to Awakening Aphrodite with Amy Fournier. This show is about helping you to be healthy and fit in mind, body, and spirit, as well as harmonizing your masculine and feminine energy, tapping into your intuition, your true source of power, and awakening your authentic self. I'm super excited to have you here with me today because today is a Fast Friday. We give you these every other week as a bonus episode. Normally our episodes come out Tuesday mornings very, very early. And we decided to give you some extra love. Fast Fridays are a variety of different topics with things that I come across that are intended to hopefully inspire you or educate you or maybe make you laugh or just be just a little extra motivation for you, a little bit of support. So today I'm starting a new series of the Fast Friday where I'm going to be referring to an awesome guidebook that I refer to all the time in my own studies called Goddesses and Sirens. And it's by Stacey Demarco, who I actually am trying to get to come on the show. So fingers crossed we get her to join us and we can pick her amazing brain a little bit. I love this guidebook because it talks about, as the title says, different famous and significant goddesses and sirens, but it talks about the divine feminine essence in general, because it's not just limited to referring to goddesses. It's talking about really even like demigoddesses or even just humans that have really, really amazing attributes or lives or features or qualities or heroines' journeys or something that somehow the rest of us mere mortals can learn from. So I like that she includes a lot of different divine creatures, if you will. Okay, so in this series, I will be featuring 2 on the Fast Friday. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss all the ones coming up, because I've already picked a handful of these beauties that I want to share with you, because they all have something really significant and useful to teach us. Today, we're going to talk about 2 that most likely you've actually heard of: Helen of Troy and Joan d'Arc, known as Joan of Arc in English. The French pronunciation apparently is Jeanne d'Arc. How'd I do? All right, so we're going to talk about Helen of Troy first, and here we go. Helen of Troy. Her signifying word is beauty, and her incantation is: recognize your own beauty, your own unique beauty. Stop comparing yourself to others. Real beauty is apparent in all cultures and in all ages. Beauty should not be used as a weapon. If a siren is a woman who tempts or draws people towards her, one of history's most important sirens would have to be the face that launched 1,000 ships, that of Helen of Troy. There are few people who are not aware of the legend of Helen of Troy, the way that the whole of Greece gathered a massive force to bring her home from the arms of the Trojan prince Paris to her rightful husband Menelaus, the dire, bloodthirsty war, the fate of Achilles, and eventually fall of Troy because of the wooden horse full of Greek soldiers. The stories placed all the blame on Helen's fine head. Lesser known but equally interesting is her history prior to Troy, which gives us lessons about the role of her beauty. And this is a big part of the reason why I chose for her to be featured in today's show. Many of us know this story of Helen of Troy, and like I just mentioned, how all of Greece was mobilized to war because of it. But I don't know about you, but I hadn't heard about this prior history of Helen, which is completely, extremely symbolic and significant to know. So here we go to bring it to light. Before becoming Helen of Troy, Helen was Helen of Sparta, a princess of the most powerful military city of the day. It was said that Helen was the daughter of Zeus and Leda, the wife of the Spartan king Tridarius. Helen was born from a giant egg, as Zeus seduced Leda in the guise of a swan. Although mortal, Helen was gifted with the otherworldly beauty of a goddess. She was brought up as a Spartan woman, athletic, strong, and opinionated. This combination, her beauty and a sense of spiritedness, made her a fatal temptation for men all through her life. According to ancient sources, when Helen was young, the Athenian Theseus kidnapped her, entranced by the idea that she was a demigoddess, as well as her own unique beauty. This abduction prompted Sparta to invade Athens, resulting in much bloodshed. Helen's brothers, Castor and Pollux, returned her to the safety of their home, but after that, she was virtually a prisoner of her own beauty until her mortal father deemed it time for a strategic marriage. Real beauty is hypnotic, yet, in reality, beauty has less to do with looking a specific way and more to do with the spirit coming through. The word charisma comes from the Greek charis and ma, meaning the spirit shining through. Each of us possesses a unique beauty, one that gives us confidence when we recognize it. Each of us is desirable, perfectly formed to be what we want to be. Should we become too obsessed by the external, something that is, after all, ever-changing, we may become just as imprisoned as the beauty Helen was. So the shadow side, all of these archetypes, all of us have shadow sides, right? The dark and the light. The shadow side of Helen, well, the lesson here is it's easy to see the power of beauty in our society. More than ever before, we're bombarded with images of unattainable beauty, often created using a computer program. This is happening. In a society obsessed with maintaining beauty through all means possible, we spend millions on makeup, beauty creams, haircuts, even surgery, in the hope that if we become a certain kind of beautiful, we will be successful and desired. The story of Helen teaches us that while beauty is something to be treasured, we can imprison ourselves with it. If we make a contest of our looks, comparing ourselves to others and either feeling superior or inferior, we risk missing out on our own joyful and unique life experiences. If you find yourself not wanting to go places or do certain things because you're worried what you'll look like, Helen may be able to assist you. So Helen's symbols: beautiful women, hand mirrors, ships, and of course the Trojan horse. So an invocation to bring in the energy of Helen into your life. There are times when all of us feel less than beautiful, and this bath-based ritual for beauty is a great way to raise your energy and confidence again. You'll need a bath for this ritual. If you don't have one at your home, you might ask a friend if it's okay to use his or hers just for an hour. You'll also need fresh flowers like roses or jasmine, a few sprigs of fresh rosemary or mint, 3 white candles, and a handful of sea salt. So, here's what you do. You run a bath, you sprinkle the flowers and herbs on the water. Then light the first candle and say out loud, "I call upon the energies of beauty. I ask that the goddess charge me with the same spark of awakening and vitality that races through the earth right now. I ask for special help from Helen of Sparta, who embodied mortal beauty." Then you can light the second candle and say, "I know as I step into this bath, I am transformed." Then step into the bath. Relax. Feel its magic working through every cell of your body. Then, as you pour a little of the water over your head with your hands, say, "I'm blessed with my own unique beauty. There is no one like me." Then light the third candle, hold the salt in your hands and say, "I remove all obstacles in the way of me being filled with beauty, inside and out. Some of my obstacles are," you can tell Helen what's in the way of your attaining your beauty, whether it be a fear of aging, or maybe your confidence is in the tank, or you're always comparing yourselves with others. Whatever it is, list those things. Then drop the salt into the water and say, "May this blessing of the sea remove all that's in my way now." Then stay in the bath and feel the salt removing those obstacles. Then request, "Tell me what I should do next." And this is the most important part, my friend. Then you want to close your eyes, breathe deeply, relax your body, and listen. Listen with your whole body, not just your ears. Just allow and receive whatever comes in and don't filter it. Just accept whatever comes in immediately. Your first impulse, your first intuition. That's the thing you want to pay attention to. Finally, give thanks. We always give thanks after our prayers. You can perfume your body with oils, lotions, or body cream. Blow out the candles with thanks when you're ready. Remember to act upon any messages given. Wasn't that awesome? I love it. All right, tapping into the beautiful, powerful energy and wisdom of Helen of Troy. And now we go to Joan d'Arc, otherwise known as Joan of Arc. And her word is faith. Let me tell you, my friends, Joan of Arc is the epitome of the heroine's journey. We can all learn a lot from Joan of Arc. That's a big reason why I chose her today to be featured on the show. Her incantation is, hold on to your dreams even through adversity. Develop faith in yourself and in a spiritual power. Trust is important. You must trust your own leadership abilities or improve them. Be not afraid. You were born for this. Don't you love it? All right, so the Maid of Orleans, the teenage Joan of Arc, remains one of history's greatest women. How could I not feature her on Awakening Aphrodite, right? one of history's greatest women. That's quite a title. The sheer amount of primary sources left us, including eyewitness accounts, court documents, and even letters written by Joan herself, are testament to the incredible power of this young woman. She remains a national heroine of France and a Catholic saint, a symbol against political repression and an impression to women the world over. Part of the magic of Joan is that she was a country peasant girl born in 1412 into a society that was patriarchal and very hierarchical. The daughter of ordinary people, she claimed to have been receiving divine visits from Archangel Michael, Saint Margaret, and Saint Catherine since she was a child. So I'll just note that that's something to just take note of. She has very humble beginnings. She was a country peasant girl. She wasn't any queen or princess or anybody that was, divinely inspired or blessed or anything. She was just an ordinary peasant girl. So remember that next time you feel small or inadequate. In the midst of the 100-Year War, two French factions, the Armagnacs and the Burgundians, were fighting for control over the throne. English invaders backing the Burgundians took advantage of this chaos and captured many French towns, including Orleans. Joan's visions told her to lift the siege of Orleans and take the Dauphin, the uncrowned Charles VII, to realms for his coronation. She managed to get across and access to the Lord Robert and convinced him to take her to Dauphin. She famously cut off her long hair. Now that's very, very symbolic because hair is extremely powerful and said through ancient times to be associated with magic powers, particularly our feminine magic powers. So she famously cut off her long hair and dressed in male page's clothes for the journey so that she would not be conspicuous during the long ride. The Dauphin was extremely impressed and insisted that high-ranking theologians and inquisitors examine Joan. All deemed that there was nothing improper about her. She was good, humble, chaste, and pious. And so Charles raised an army, and Joan rode with him to Orleans, where a series of mighty victories encouraged a campaign that quickly put Charles on the throne in Rheims. Dressed in shining armor, riding astride a battle horse, and carrying her battle standard, teenage Joan inspired and rallied everyone on the battlefield. Now, just envision this, like a peasant girl who's a teenager on horseback is basically rallying up these warrior men to go into battle, okay? So next time you feel small and insignificant and incompetent, keep that image in mind. See, it's all about your own self-concept, right? Your own passion, your own conviction, your own confidence. That's what I learned from that. So we see Joan's strength and conviction in her communications to her enemy. Her second letter to the English in 1429 stated, "My Lord commands you to go back to your own land, for it's his will, or otherwise I will cause a disaster for you." Joan was incredibly intelligent and inspiring, but the trial transcripts from when the English captured her and accused her of heresy made for a sobering reading. They attacked everything from her visions to her loyalty, and even her hairstyle and her clothes. Her answers were those of an aware and astute young woman. Her faith in herself and her God shone through in the face of hostile clergy, a barrage of lawmakers, and death itself. While Joan was convicted of heresy, this was only a crime if it was repeated. One of the stipulations of Joan's reform was that she only dress in female clothing. Still imprisoned, she complained that she was the victim of an attempted rape and decided to dress in men's clothing again for her own protection. This was enough to condemn her, and she was executed by burning at the stake simply for dressing in men's clothing. Eyewitness accounts say that she held on to her faith until the end and asked clergymen to hold up a cross so she could see it as she burned. I mean, wow, right? Like, first of all, you're being condemned to death because you're trying to protect yourself from being raped while you're in prison. So you're wearing men's clothing to hopefully not get raped, which forces you to now be executed. And while you're being executed, while being burned to death on a cross, the one thing you ask for is for somebody to please do you a favor and hold up a cross while I'm burning alive so I can see the cross. I mean, wow, right? Just wow, wow. There are no words. This is truly mind-blowing. In 1456, a legal retrial in Abstinia absolved her of her crimes. The Catholic Church made Joan of Arc a saint in 1920. Her statues are all over France, but the most famous rests in the beautiful Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris. Joan comes riding into your life with her battle standard held high. Legend has it, as she rode bravely toward the enemy, she said, "I am not afraid. I was born for this." Her energy can help inspire, compete faith in you and in a higher power to lead you to your greatest good. When you need the energy to do what you think is right, even in the face of what others think you should do, or trust yourself or own your own visions for your future, you can ask Joan for help and think of her beautiful, shining, brave example. Joan was single-minded and kept her focus, and this is an ideal energy to use when you need inspiration to carry on through obstacles. Her courage and her sheer goodness are also wonderful attributes to hold on to, especially when we're faced with outside pressures you know are not healthy. But like all things, Joan too had a shadow side. We all do. It's the polarity of life, right? The light and the dark. So the shadow side here is sometimes having a rigid, blind faith does not serve us. While it's important to hold on to our dreams and intentions and to focus on the outcome, to do this without taking note of what's actually happening around us can be folly. Joan was eventually put to death for a technicality. She was, perhaps, unaware of the implications of some of her actions. When our actions go against sound advice from others, we are well advised to carefully think through what we should do, as opposed to just forging ahead without consideration. So, what I'm going to add here is it's wise to heed your own counsel, to tap into your Aphrodite and tap into discernment and the practice of reflection, right? Aphrodite with that mirror. No, it wasn't her vanity. It was her teaching us the value of reflection, reflecting on something before you just forge ahead through emotion. So this is something we can learn from Joan of Arc. So Joan's symbols: maiden on horseback, dressed in armor, a halo, a battle standard, and the French colors, which are blue, white, and red. So we can tap into Joan when we need to stay on the course or to be assured that our path is indeed the right one. You can light a white candle, you can sit quietly, close your eyes, and imagine Joan in her armor on her white battle horse. See her face, see how determined she is and how calm she is. And you can trust yourself that there's a piece of that in you as you go into your battle as well. So there you go, my friends. Wow. 2 powerhouses, Helen of Troy and Joan of Arc. We can learn a lot from these magnificent divine feminine creatures, can't we? There are so many wonderful role models we can learn from, and it is my honor and pleasure and thrill to bring them to you on this show, Awakening Aphrodite. So be sure to subscribe because I got a ton more of these powerhouses to share with you. And remember, these are all elements that are in all of us. You might just need to wake them up a little bit. I hope you enjoyed the show. If you want to support me, please leave a review. It only takes a moment, but I so appreciate it. And you can jump on my email list or get some of my personal anecdotes once a month and tap into my favorite products over on my website e-store with my discount coupon codes. And I'm just super grateful to have you here. Tag me on Instagram at FitAmyTV. Share the episode or let me know your comments. I love hearing from you, and I love coming over to your channel and saying hello. So thanks so much, my friends. We'll see you next time on Awakening Aphrodite. Would you like to support my mission to help empower people all over the world to be all of who they truly are? If so, please subscribe to the show, leave a review on iTunes, and share it with a friend. And if you're looking to take immediate action to align your energy and optimize your health, visit amyfournier.com. Thanks for listening to Awakening Aphrodite. Let's awaken her together in you. I'm your hostess, Amy Fournier, and I already can't wait to be with you again and for you to hear what I have planned for the next show.
Thanks for listening to Awakening Aphrodite with Amy Fournier. To learn more about Amy, check out her website, amyfournier.com. That's amyfournier.com. You can also check out Amy's live and on-demand virtual fitness and yoga classes and sign up for her newsletter to receive a free mini ebook of 3 of her top tips for making holistic health a lifestyle. Again, that's amyfournier.com and get your ebook sent to your email immediately. Connect with Amy on the daily on Instagram at FitAmyTV, FITAMYTV, and watch many of the podcast episodes and subtopic clips on her YouTube channel, which is also FitAmyTV. Enjoy, and we'll see you next time on Awakening Aphrodite.